Hello, my evil residents. Today I'm going to rank all of the weapons in Resident Evil 7 because I'm currently going for all the achievements in this game, and I've formed strong opinions on most of the weapons along the way. Now for the criteria, we're not just going for straight which one does the most damage, because obviously either the Magnum or probably one of the shotguns would win, or like the Albert, but what we're going for is overall utility and usefulness. Sometimes that might be, it does big damage and that's useful, because it is. Sometimes it might be, it gets rid of bugs a lot, so it's very useful. So we're doing overall usefulness, we're not ranking damage. If a high damage weapon is low on the list because you only get 5 ammo for it in the whole game, it is what it is. Deal with it. Leave an angry comment, I don't care. I won't waste any more of your time, so we're going to rank all 12 of the weapons in this game. We're not counting any of the laser guns from the Jack's 55th birthday thing. We're not counting the crowbar from that either. We're just doing the weapons from the base game. Also, the axe from the beginning section won't be on here because I have nothing to directly compare it with. So, yeah, let's get on with it.
A fucking pocket knife? What am I going to do with a knife?
Coming in at number 13, we have the knife, which takes a whopping 24 light hits and 9 heavy hits on Madhouse difficulty to kill a molded. And honestly, that is less hits than I expected, but it's still not good. The molded will probably still kill you unless you're really good at dodging hits. If you're stuck with just the knife to do damage, just restart checkpoint. There is no reason you should be using this. It is the worst weapon in the game by far. It's basically only good for hitting boxes and hitting Mr. Everywheres. And if you have another melee weapon, it completely outclasses it totally. You do not need this except for your first run through. It's just not good. You don't need the knife. And then if you're playing Madhouse difficulty, I understand bringing the knife if you don't have the circular saw yet to break boxes because ammo's scarce, but ammo is common enough on all the other difficulties that you can just shoot the boxes, honestly. So you don't, the knife sucks, okay? You don't need the knife very much. At number 12, we have the MPM, which is the handgun you get on Mia's horrible boat section. The MPM is exactly the same as the M19, except you get it later, and you probably already have the M19, and you already have another handgun. So you don't really need this. It doesn't do that much more damage than the default handgun, the G17. The only time you have it in the game is when you don't need a handgun, because you have the machine gun and you have the remote bombs, both of which are better than this, seeing as they're higher on the list, because this is the second to last on the list, and I haven't said either of those yet. You don't need this thing at all, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you're thinking about the bombs in the last section, you can use the burner, or you have another handgun, or 2 other handguns, maybe even 3 other handguns. Maybe you're an epic handgun collector, and you're cool. I don't know. You don't need this thing.
You're a son of a bitch! Oh, I can't believe it, you son of a bitch!
And at number 11 is its clone, the M19. This makes me sad, it makes me want to cry and throw up, because I love the M1911 in every game, but it's bad in this game. It has the same problems as the MPM, just slightly less so. You can get it immediately your first time out of the mansion with the repair kit. It's the broken handgun on the bed, but the repair kit is much better used on a weapon that is much higher on this list. So it's kind of a waste, and then by the time you can repair it with the other repair kit you get from the Lucas section, you don't really need a handgun because you've destroyed all the bombs already with your other handgun, and then there's just the bombs in the later section in the mines, which you can use the other handgun for. You don't need it. You don't need this. It's slightly more useful than the MPM, and it looks cooler than the MPM. At number 10 is the machine gun. This thing, oh god. This thing has more recoil than most miniguns do in most every game. This thing is insane. It kicks like a mule. You just look at the gameplay. Just look how high it goes after I fired like 10 shots. It's insane. You have to manage the recoil so much where basically if you're not hugging the molded, you will not hit them. It's such a pain in the ass to use. But it does decent damage, and it does decent stun, which on the boat section is pretty much all you need, because it's just a thin hallway. You just shoot them, you walk past them, you're done. You don't really need to kill too many of the molded on the boat section. And then in the section after, it's also narrow, and you also use it for the same thing, but you have all your other weapons, so you don't really need it as much, and it's not useful in any of the sections before. The only boss fight it's actually useful for is the last boss fight, because it's the easiest to do damage to Evelyn's weird mold face with, and the duo of fat molded before you leave the mines. Those are the only times it's useful, and even then you have lots of other high damage weapons. You don't really need this.
You need to tell me what you're doing out here alone in the middle of the night. Answer my question.
At number 9, we have the G17, which is the handgun you get from the police officer after he gets shoveled by Shovel Knight. You pick it up off the garage floor, you use it in that boss fight, you use it to get through the mansion until you can get the shotgun. And honestly, it's a pretty good handgun. It does 8 shots to kill, 2 with enhanced ammo. I forgot to say for the other 2, the M19 and the MPM. Those take 6 shots to kill with 2 for enhanced ammo. So the other 2 are marginally better than this one, which is another reason they're so low, because it's barely any difference. But anyway, the G17 is still good, as long as you land your headshots, and you can stun the molded with it pretty well. On lower difficulties, it does enough damage to get you by on its own, and on Madhouse, you just don't really need it, except to like destroy boxes, destroy bombs, and maybe stun a zombie if you're really, really like stressing for some reason. Because it's the only handgun that you need, it gets a higher ranking. The other ones are better, but you do not need them. Number 8, surprisingly, is the grenade launcher. Now, one reason this is so low on the list is because ammo for this thing is scarce unless you craft it, and if you're crafting it, honestly, don't craft the neuro rounds. They're not that great. Just craft the fire rounds. I know the neuro rounds seem like they're really cool. They're basically the same thing. If you're waiting around for the neuro round to kill the molded, just fire 2 flame ones. It doesn't matter that much. You can get this 2 ways. You can get it before the mine section at the end of the game, or you can unlock it early with the crow key that's used in the in Marguerite's area. You can backtrack to the mansion to get it early. It is good for Jack's boss fight because it instantly destroys his eyes. That's why it's about in the middle, because that's its best use, is for that boss fight. That boss fight is such a pain in the ass. This makes it a lot easier, so save your grenades for that. And then it's good on fat molded because it stuns them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's all this? You with me, man? Time to grow up.
At number 7, we have the M37. This is a shotgun. This is the shotgun that's sitting on the bust that you have to replace with either the broken shotgun or the toy shotgun. It's good. It one hits to the head, as a Resident Evil shotgun should. The problems with it: slow reload, slow rate of fire, and another big con of this weapon, right after you can get this shotgun, you can get the other better shotgun. So you instantly, immediately do not need it. If you just play for like 5 more minutes after you can get this shotgun, you will get the other better shotgun, so there's no point in picking it up.
Beacon City will be purified by flame!
Number 6 is the burner. The burner has shit damage. It takes a third of the mag to kill a molded. But it is good in literally every other scenario, except bosses. This is the ultimate utility weapon in the game, especially for Marguerite's section. It kills the flies really easy. It kills the bugs on the containers really easily. It kills the pods. It destroys bombs. It destroys boxes. It's really good, and it takes up the same amount of space as carrying a handgun and a knife. It doesn't take super long to kill a molded with it, but it does take a while. If you're not landing your shots with the handgun very well, you may as well just equip the burner. It's going to take you the same amount of time to kill a zombie. Not a zombie, it's a molded, because Resident Evil doesn't have zombies in this game for some reason. But anyway, the burner is very useful for everything except bosses. And even then, on the Marguerite boss fight, it's good to stun her and make her run away. So, the burner gets a pretty high spot.
You gonna shoot me in front of everybody? Come on.
At number 5, this weapon, I just have to say really quick, is the ugliest Magnum in any Resident Evil game. It's not a competition. This thing just looks so weird. It just bothers me. And then it has this weird, like, dirty sheen on it, so you can't even enjoy how shiny the weapon is. It's just annoying. But anyway, 44 Magnum is the highest damaging single shot thing in the game because it's a Resident Evil Magnum. That is what it does. Unfortunately, the only time it's really useful is for Fat Molded, Marguerite, and that's pretty much it. Because trying to hit Jack's eyeballs with this is a huge pain in the ass. You don't want to be doing that. That's a waste of your Magnum ammo. You're probably going to miss a lot, so you might as well save it for later. It ranks this high because it does make super quick work of Marguerite. It does make super quick work of any Fat Molded. But you don't really need it outside of that, and there's barely any ammo for this in the game. So, I don't recommend this one super much. And if you have a pistol with enhanced handgun ammo, it's just going to be a diet Magnum with more ammo. So I'd rather have any of the handguns, honestly, with enhanced ammo than a Magnum any day of the week. It takes up the same amount of spots in your inventory anyways, so At number 4 is the Albert 01R. This takes 3 shots to kill, 1 shot with enhanced handgun ammo. This thing is the real Magnum in Resident Evil 7. This thing is awesome. This is gonna carry you through Madhouse if you don't have another weapon that's higher on this list. It's really, really good overall. It looks awesome. It looks badass. The sound it makes is a little weird, but I can live with that. That's just like nitpicking. Yeah, this weapon is useful for basically everything in the game. You can do boss damage with it. You can do utility with it. Because it's handgun ammo is so common, you can just use it for whatever you want, and you're fine. If you need to use it for trivial things, you still have all your ammo for other stuff for boss damage. You don't need to be stressing. If you have the Albert, you're good. Yeah, the Albert's awesome.
I hate this game!
At number 3, we have the remote bomb. Now, I'm aware that you get this very late in the game, and that does cut it some of its usefulness, which is why it's not higher. That is the only reason it's not higher on the list. The remote bombs are awesome. If you haven't figured out that you can just place them like a meter in front of you and then detonate them immediately to stun any molded that are standing in front of you, you can breeze through Mia's section, or you can breeze through the mines. If you're thrifty, you can breeze through both sections. It's just, please use the remote bombs next time you go through Mia's section or the mines. Oh my gosh, you will not regret it.
The M21 and Olympia gangs are back!
At number 2, we have the M21, which is the Olympia from COD Zombies. This thing is also a one-hit kill, and it holds less ammo. So you're wondering, why is it so much higher? This thing shoots so fast, and it reloads so fast. You can melt bosses with this. This weapon is my go-to when I'm doing the Jack boss fight. It is freaking awesome. You don't need anything else for that boss fight. If you have this and like 30 to 40 shells, you're good. You're golden. It melts every molded. The other shotgun can't one-shot the molded with the weird arm knife thing. This one can, and for that, it can one-tap any enemy in the game that's not a boss. So it's just amazing. You can just truck through pretty much anywhere with this thing. It's just like reload. It's incredible. At number 1, if you have played Madhouse with this thing, you saw it coming. You saw it coming because it's a circular saw. This thing melts through every single enemy in this game. It melts through almost every boss in this game. You can solo this game with the circular saw besides Jack, Giant Mold Jack, and the final Evelyn's face battle. You can melt through the entire rest of the game with this. You can destroy the bug pods with this. You can destroy the flying bugs with this. You can destroy the bugs on the walls with this. The crawling molded are no threat. Just do the heavy attack with this, and they jump at you and they die. They can't touch you. The big molded, you just do the heavy attack on their head, they die almost instantly. Or they get stunned, so they can't do anything to you. You have the keep away tool, the light hit that stuns multiple molded. It's incredible. If you haven't used the circular saw, or you see it and you're like, oh, this thing looks weird, why would I use this? No, use it. It puts the game on very easy mode. It puts the game on toddler mode. It is the number 1 weapon in this game. I will die on this hill. Alright, so that's all of the Resident Evil 7 weapons ranked. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like the list. Please subscribe and leave a like if you did not like the list. And also leave a comment if you have a very strong opinion about why I'm wrong, because that would be hilarious. And the more aggressive, the better. Please. Thank you. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next evil residence that I visit.